While America threatens Canada with devastating tariffs, Prime Minister Mark Carney just pulled off the most brilliant trade maneuver in decades. And the timing, absolutely perfect. Yesterday, as Washington politicians continued their hostile rhetoric against our nation, Carney was across the Atlantic quietly securing Canada's economic future with our European allies. What he accomplished in those closed-door meetings will fundamentally reshape North American trade dynamics forever. But here's what nobody saw coming. This wasn't just about avoiding American tariffs. Carney's new European framework contains three game-changing provisions that will make Canada stronger, more independent, and more prosperous than ever before. And when you understand the third provision, you'll realize why this move is pure genius. If you love seeing Canada win on the world stage, make sure you're subscribed to Canada Love, because we're about to break down exactly how our Prime Minister just outmaneuvered the most powerful economy on Earth. To understand the magnitude of Carney's achievement, you need to grasp what Canada was facing just weeks ago. American politicians were openly threatening punitive tariffs that would have devastated our economy. We're talking about potential 25% tariffs on Canadian lumber, steel, and energy exports, sectors that employ millions of hard-working Canadians. Picture this scene. In Washington boardrooms, hostile officials were literally drawing up lists of Canadian industries to target. Manufacturing plants in Ontario faced potential shutdown. Alberta's energy sector was staring at massive revenue losses. British Columbia's forestry workers were bracing for layoffs. The economic warfare being planned would have hit every province, every family, every Canadian business. But the stakes went far beyond economics. This was about something much deeper: Canada's sovereignty. For too long, we've been forced to dance to America's tune, accepting whatever trade terms they dictated. Our national dignity was on the line. Our independence as a proud nation was being challenged by bullying tactics from south of the border. Meanwhile, European leaders were watching these developments with growing concern. They understood that if America could economically coerce Canada today, their own trade relationships would be threatened tomorrow. The entire Western Alliance's stability hung in the balance. This is where Mark Carney saw opportunity, where others saw only crisis. While American politicians assumed Canada would simply bend the knee and accept whatever punishment they dished out, our Prime Minister was already 3 moves ahead, crafting a response that would change everything. The story begins 3 months ago when Carney's economic team identified a critical vulnerability in America's trade position. While Washington focused on threatening Canada, they completely overlooked how integrated North American supply chains had become with European markets. This oversight would prove catastrophic for American negotiators. Carney immediately dispatched trade envoys to Brussels, Berlin, and Paris. But here's the brilliant part. He didn't ask for help. Instead, he offered European leaders something they desperately wanted: preferential access to Canada's vast natural resources and a direct pipeline into North American markets that completely bypassed American middlemen. The dominoes started falling fast. Germany's chancellor, facing energy security concerns, jumped at guaranteed Canadian energy supplies. France's president, looking to strengthen Francophone economic ties, embraced expanded Quebec partnerships. The European Union's trade commissioner saw an opportunity to reduce dependence on volatile American markets. But wait, there's more you haven't heard yet. While these negotiations were happening in secret, something fascinating occurred in Washington. American trade officials, confident in their leverage over Canada, started making increasingly aggressive demands. They pushed harder, threatened louder, assuming Canada had nowhere else to turn. Their arrogance was breathtaking, and it played right into Carney's hands. Each American threat gave Carney more ammunition in European capitals. "Look how they treat their closest ally," he told European leaders. "Is this the kind of partner you want to depend on?" The answer became crystal clear. Then came the breakthrough moment. During a private dinner in Brussels last Tuesday, European Commission President revealed something stunning to Carney. American negotiators had been secretly pressuring European allies to reject any independent trade deals with Canada. Washington wanted to control all Western trade flows through American channels. This revelation changed everything. What started as Canada seeking European partners suddenly became Europe seeking Canadian independence from American economic dominance. The hunter had become the hunted. Carney struck while the iron was hot. Within 48 hours, he had preliminary agreements with major European powers. The framework was breathtaking in its scope and ambition. Yesterday's announcement represents complete victory for Canada and Mark Carney's strategic vision. The European trade framework delivers three revolutionary advantages that make American tariff threats completely irrelevant. First, immediate market diversification. Canadian exporters now have guaranteed access to 500 million European consumers through streamlined trade channels. When America threatens our lumber industry, European construction companies are ready to buy. When they target our energy sector, European refineries are standing by with long-term contracts. Second, technological partnership acceleration. European aerospace, clean technology, and advanced manufacturing companies are establishing joint ventures with Canadian firms. This isn't just trade, it's knowledge transfer that will make our industries more competitive globally. But the third advantage is pure genius, and this is where Carney's masterstroke becomes clear. The framework includes a mutual defense clause against third-party trade aggression. If America imposes tariffs on Canada, European allies automatically impose reciprocal measures on American goods entering their markets. Think about the mathematics here. America exports over $400 billion worth of goods to Europe annually. Canadian exports to America about $300 billion. European retaliation would cost America more than their tariffs could possibly gain. Carney just made American trade warfare economically suicidal. The irreversibility factor is crucial. Once European companies establish supply chains with Canadian partners, once European consumers discover the quality of Canadian products, once European governments recognize the reliability of Canadian trade relationships, there's no going back. We've permanently reduced our dependence on an increasingly unreliable southern neighbor. Washington's reaction tells you everything. Yesterday's confident threats became today's nervous silence. American trade representatives are suddenly interested in productive dialogue with Canada. The bullying stopped the moment they realized their leverage had evaporated. If you're proud of how Prime Minister Carney just elevated Canada's position on the world stage, show your support by hitting that like button right now. This European framework represents more than successful trade diplomacy. It's proof that Canada's future lies in strategic independence, not subservient dependence. Mark Carney has positioned our nation as a bridge between continents, a crucial partner that major powers compete to secure. Looking ahead, this framework opens unprecedented opportunities. Canadian businesses will access European innovation centers. Our students will benefit from expanded exchange programs. Our energy sector will diversify beyond North American markets. Most importantly, we'll never again face economic isolation because one neighbor decides to play hardball. The ripple effects are already beginning. Asian trading partners are expressing interest in similar frameworks. South American nations are reaching out. Australia and New Zealand want to strengthen Commonwealth trade ties. Carney's European success has made Canada the most attractive trade partner in the G7. But here's what I want to know from you. In the comments below, tell me which aspect of this European framework excites you most. Is it the economic security, the technological partnerships, or the strategic independence from American trade bullying? Because when Canada leads with confidence and vision, the whole world takes notice. And that's exactly what Mark Carney delivered. Make sure you check out our previous video analyzing Carney's energy independence strategy. The link is right there on your screen.